At the University of Paris, they're doing unique work on fossil dinosaur bones. The first step is to slice a stone bone into sections. Dr. Armand de Ricles and his colleagues have been working on this project for 11 years. In that time, they've examined hundreds of different dinosaur specimens from all over the world. Each stone slice is ground and polished until it's paper thin and you can see through it. They're interested in these structures within the fossil. Although it's 150 million years since this was living bone, the process of fossilization has preserved every detail. Each minute cell, every blood vessel, is still faithfully represented in stone. They are valuable evidence for the type of animal dinosaurs were, because they may relate to the activity of the living animal. Dr. de Ricles compares dinosaur bones with those of modern animals like this lizard. Its skeleton is similar to a dinosaur's in many ways, but he is the first to compare the inside of lizard and dinosaur bones in detail. Under the microscope, the lizard's densely packed bone cells show up. There's no clear shape to the cells and no visible boundaries between adjacent cells. This fox's lifestyle was very different from the lizard's. Like other hot-blooded mammals, it would have grown faster and had a higher metabolic rate. Its cells are quite unlike the lizard's. They have a distinct oval shape, and there are many blood capillaries. So what pattern lies inside the dinosaur bones? Over the years, in the hundreds of specimens he's examined, Dr. de Ricles has found many individual differences, but a clear pattern has emerged. Each tiny fossil section shows dozens of oval dinosaur cells, with plenty of blood capillaries. This is the same at higher magnification. And this is the fox. The similarity between it and the dinosaur is remarkable. The lizard's bone again, clearly different from both dinosaur and fox. There is still dispute about how these bone differences relate to living animals. Yet on this evidence, dinosaurs do seem more like mammals than reptiles. A second line of evidence comes from what happens when animals exercise. This hot-blooded endotherm is the largest living two-legged animal, the ostrich. Exercise makes animals hot, and like other hot-blooded animals, and unlike cold-blooded reptiles, she has elaborate mechanisms for losing heat.
See the gular area opening and closing there. She'll bend down.
The gular area in her throat moves in a version of panting, a common cooling mechanism.
I guess you can't get her around to see it. Yeah, she is hot now. We're going to have to probably take her outside and let her cool down shortly.
The second cooling mechanism is a bold lifting of her feathers so she exposes large areas of naked skin.
And the large joint you can see down in here is a knee, and the ankle is the joint below that. There, she's exposing a lot of skin. She's going to come out in a hurry, I think.
Animals have developed a variety of cooling mechanisms. If dinosaurs were hot-blooded, they would have needed cooling mechanisms too. So Professor John Ostrom and his student Jim Farlow started investigating a most unlikely animal.
And this is Stegosaurus, one of the most absurd and ridiculous-looking animals that ever evolved. You know, it looks like a blimp on stilts with all those funny plates up on its back. Let's climb up here topside and take a closer look at these plates. They're the distinctive features of Stegosaurus. One of the first things that we notice are at the bases of every plate are punctured by a series of very large holes or openings, canals of some sort. And we've thought that this was peculiar, so to find out what it might mean, we sectioned one of these plates, put it in plaster, and cut it across in a series of slices to see what the internal structure might look like. And this is the result. You can see that there are some very large openings in the center, surrounded by areas of very small pores or openings. To me, this clearly means that these bony plates, instead of being solid, were flushed with large volumes of blood. That only makes sense to me if these features were cooling devices.
To find out if the plates were efficient at cooling, they got help from Yale Engineering Department, Professor Dan Rosner.
This is a wind tunnel in which we have a model mounted and can pass air over this model at very high speeds. In the model, we have an electrical heater, which we can control. In addition, we have a temperature gauge, the output of which is displayed on this instrument. If we turn off the wind, then the model will heat up rather quickly. If I turn on the wind, the model will cool off rapidly, as indicated by these readings here again.
This is a simulated Stegosaurus body. On it, they mounted various sizes and arrangements of fins and tested their cooling efficiency. The best cooling system turned out to be 2 staggered rows of fins, exactly like the arrangement found on stegosaurs in 2 long rows along their backs.
How about the best choice of shape for the individual plate? Well, considering the fact that the air along the back of Stegosaurus is heated and retarded, then those areas of the plate which are immersed in the heated region of the flow near the Stegosaurus body are relatively ineffective. One might as well cut corners at that location. Similarly, it's difficult for heat to get to the extremities of these plates, and it makes sense for a minimum weight configuration to cut corners at the plate extremities.
So Stegosaurus had an ideal design for a cooling system, and it could even have regulated its temperature by turning in and out of the wind. So what can be deduced from all this?
That leads me to conclude that these animals must have been warm-blooded. This is strong evidence, I think, for endothermy in dinosaurs.